What's going on, folks? I'm Goat. Welcome back to Warframe. This is going to be a very quick video. So, I don't know why I have a missing shard there. I thought I replaced it. Anyway, um, this is Temple, right? This is Temple. This is Lizzie. Now, the video that I just posted yesterday, I literally shot that video 5 days after Temple released. I'd been messing around with the build, and I had finally gotten it pretty much where I wanted it. And it was just in the kind of queue, for lack of a better way to put it, of videos I meant to post. And it hit yesterday because we've had all the Coda weapons drop and kind of breaking those into a different list. Different story, different day. So, it's been pointed out to me that Temple has a gender issue. Now, I don't really keep up on the know of things in regards to other channels and, problems and things like that. But I got a respectful comment. Okay, I do want to put that out there first and foremost. It was a very respectful comment. The commenter actually basically called himself an asshole for making the comment, but I didn't take it as an asshole comment whatsoever. Truth be told, I took it as a straightforward pointing out of a flaw in the video. So during the Temple video, I referred to Temple as he and him a lot. Now, I had no idea that there was a gender assignment to this frame. Okay? Now, truth be told, should I have known? Yeah, probably. I mean, look. So we've got this, right? We've got this. We've got this. We have this. Everything is always name-based, right? There's no he or they or any of that crap, right? There's nothing here. Okay? There's nothing in the description about Temple. Fair enough, right? Come on and load, you slow son of a bitch. So, let's just go to, instead of that, blazing with glamour and armed with infested guitar, Lizzie, Temple's power chord, with infested guitar, Lizzie, Temple's power chord, light, and flames of revolution. Now, if anybody can explain to me that there is a gender issue here, I gladly accept your comments. Because the only information of gender that comes into this is two things. One is obviously this. Temple looks like a dude, right? That's no knock. I don't mean that in any way, shape, or form as a negative. Temple looks like a male. Okay? There's nothing in the description about Temple having any gender assignment issues whatsoever. And I'm going to get to why I'm talking about this, so please, I don't want any negativity thinking up to this point that I'm just being an irrational son of a bitch. Okay? I don't. Where the gender assignment thing came from was the dev stream and announcing Temple, right? So they referred to a lot as they, right? And them. The first thing that they said, that Digital Extreme said during that dev stream, was that Temple and or Flare has a symbiotic relationship with Lizzie, being the sentient, infested, so basically a living, infested guitar. So I took that as them saying them and they as both of them, as a plural. I did not take that as a gender. I did not understand that Temple had a gender. Didn't really care. I took it at the face value of what the frame and what the proto frame appeared. Now, for a bit of a back brief, because I don't really talk too much about my personal life, I have a lesbian daughter. Okay? I have a lesbian daughter who was in a trans relationship with an individual who identified as a she. Okay? That being said, full support. No hatred, no looking down upon, no disrespectful commenting, nothing. Full support. You know why? Because I want people to be happy. That's the truth. I want people to be happy. I want people to be safe. I want people to be healthy. That's it. What any individual out there chooses to be is what they choose to be. Whatever pronoun they wish to use is whatever they wish to use. I have nothing against any of it. Nor do I have any judgment for it. It's not my place. I know what my life is. I know what's in my head. So, as a back brief to my own personal real life situation, I fully am aware that, sometimes people just, they're born, they kind of get a sense of themselves and they realize, you know what, this isn't exactly how I feel. This isn't what I feel like. And that's fine. If Temple is identifying as a they and a them due to this symbiotic relationship or otherwise, fine. If anybody's taking offense to me saying he a whole bunch in that damn video, I have two things to say. One, it's my mistake. Okay, it's my mistake if I overlook the fact that there is a gender inequality to my words that were put to this. But two, I need to also really give this very sad truth to this entire situation before any hatred gets let loose, okay? Because that's not what I want. This game is about, this channel is about positivity, positive vibes, not shitting all over people, not bringing people down for their beliefs or their uses or anything else. I personally think that even in our own game builds, everybody's allowed their opinion, and they should be fine to thrive with that. And by design of frame, like here, hold on. Let's look at another one that people have not questioned for the obvious. Zaku. Zaku is a non-binary frame. You know why? Because Zaku is made of multiple things. Zaku, I mean, for lack of a better way to put it, by design, right? Zaku is kind of like Frankenstein's monster. A bunch of pieces from a bunch of different, people, specifically, i.e. Warframes, that has been created into this. How can you possibly assign a gender to that? You can't, because what part is what, right? What part came from who and where? So yeah, it's a literal non-binary setup. There's just no way to assign a gender to that. When you get limited information, and the only information that you get is the symbiotic construct of things, I took it literally as saying they as a plural, not as a gender. So yeah, I refer to Temple as a he. If Temple is a they and a them, that's fine. I don't really care. I'll stop playing Temple if that will make everybody happy. I think Temple is a lot of fun to play. But I'll put that fucker at the bottom of the goddamn list, and you'll never see this frame touch my screen again while recording. Won't happen. But I don't want to be rubbing people the wrong way and giving people the wrong impression of the kind of person that I am, because I am not a closed-minded individual. I'm a very open-minded individual. I'm very open to the prospects and ideas of other people's situations and feelings and lives. So if anybody has taken my previous video in a negative connotation whatsoever, I truly am sorry, okay? Not for the words that I said, but for me possibly impacting your feelings on the situation. I have my own feelings, and I have the right to have those feelings, but I don't have the right to sit there and shit all over anybody else's either, What I look for is happiness. I see my daughter is happy. I know, people that identify as, opposite of their birthing gender, right? They're happy. You know what? That makes me happy. That's all that matters. People's happiness matters way more. And to put a final punctuation to this, I do need to ask a favor from myself and from anybody who's watching, okay? Because I'm all about the kind of positive vibes, and I'm kind of, it's not kind of, I am about those positive vibes. I am about those, let's have fun. This is a video game. Okay, this is a video game. This is not the real world. The real world, I'm married, I have 5 kids, I'm 45 years old, and I have the expectation for my kids to be happy and healthy, and my grandkids to be happy and healthy. That's it. Call me Grandpa Gamer if you want. I don't really give a shit. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I call myself a cripple. It's not politically correct, but I do it because it's what I am. I'm not asking you to call me a cripple. You see what I mean? Like there's a dramatic change. There's a dramatic shift in the paradigm between the real world and the video game world. This is where we're supposed to escape. This is where we're supposed to have fun, let go of the real life for a little bit and just do our thing, right? And instead, we've got multiple creators that are being attacked for things that they've said. I didn't even realize it until I got that comment, and I did a simple Google search, Temple Warframe gender. That's all I did. And I found multiple Reddit posts and, you know, some Facebook posts and some general social medias, and I was like, oh my god, I did not know this was a fucking thing, because I just don't keep up with it. But like I said, I wholeheartedly, you know, I apologize if anybody's pissed off about this. I really do. It was a slight on me taking something as a plural instead of a gender, you know? But at the same time, I do just want the expectation, the simple understanding that this is a video game, okay? At the end of the day, that's all this is. This is just a simple video game. You know, it's fun, it's creative, it's a far-reaching cry to something that could be awesome and horrifying at the same time. That's what makes Warframe so interesting. So, I mean, after it's all said and done, you know, everybody fucks up when they say something, right? Everybody fucks up when they do things. You know, and we all pay our penance in our own way, and mine is just simply taking a plural instead of a gender. I'm sorry for that. You know? But you go back and you watch that dev stream and you tell me how I'm supposed to take that differently, because there's no other information stating that Temple is a they or a them, right? Aside from that symbiosis between Lizzie and Temple, or Lizzie and Flare, there's nothing really there. So it's not a hard stretch for me to make that mistake. But I'm fine with whatever gender identity should be applied to this frame. I'm not gonna sit there and downplay it. I'm not gonna sit there and knock it and make fun of it or anything of the sort. But the truth of it is that it's a simple, stupid mistake. So I wanted you guys to kind of understand where I'm at, you know, as far as where my belief system is, where my life is, the kind of acceptance that I do with my life, before anybody takes slight to the kind of things that, you know, might just roll out of my damn mouth in an incidental way on a lack of information, right? So if you don't agree, I'm sorry. But believe this, I am not a closed-minded individual whatsoever. My own family, my own inner workings of my family. You know, my brother, who passed away last year, was in the middle of transitioning, okay? If that doesn't tell you what my level of acceptance is, my brother, who took his own life in August of last year, was in the process of transitioning, and I lost him. And he, with his direct family, didn't want to be known as anything other than my brother, hence why I call him my brother. He hadn't finished his transition, and it was what it was. But I think nothing less of my brother for that, you know? If my brother would have finished and turned into my sister, do you think I would have had anything less to say about that? Other than, that's my sibling? Absolutely not. And if anybody thinks that I'm that shallow or horrible of a fucking person, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why we're here. Because I'm not. So, I want to thank you very much for watching. As always, we'll catch you in the next one, alright?